What's going on? So in this video I want to finish up these packs, these familiars, and go over Pact 4 of the free ones. Debating whether I'll do the paid familiars for you guys. I'll probably do a video of the paid ones, but we'll see how this one goes. In any case, so jumping right in here, the Mecha Trojan does not have an army talent, but and frankly, actually, the skills are not all that impressive. For me, Cavalry max HP, you know, I could live with or without. Army defense, it's nice that it's a permanent effect and not just when they are deployed. So that's kind of cool. But the increases max coalition army size by 125 for 30 minutes. That's about the coolest thing that this one has, but without having any kind of added army talent, it doesn't make it worth developing first. So there's a couple in Pack 4 that would be more worth developing in my opinion, because they have some skills and some army talents that are going to help you along the way. And so that's what I think of Mecha Trojan. But he's also a Pack 5. So basically, talent currently unavailable. It says currently, so that suggests that they might come out with a army talent eventually. So that might be significant or nice. We'll have to wait and see. Grim Reaper, again, no army talent on this guy, and frankly, I don't think he's worth developing because his coolest thing. So we'll walk through these. Travel speed is pretty nice, 10%. I'll call it good. Ranged max HP, man, that's okay as well. This guy looks cool, right? So it looks like, oh my gosh, I could kill 20 to 50,000 troops in an enemy's barracks, and I can do this every 30 minutes. What, you know, I always wondered kind of what's the catch. And the catch is that the skill stones are very expensive to get a hold of. Essentially, you can get them in Kingdom Tycoon, probably the easiest, but outside of Kingdom Tycoon and rolling that dice a bunch of times, you're really going to struggle to build and have the materials necessary to build these shards. And so, let me show you here. When we go, when we go into this here, the skill stones, not the shards, excuse me. When we go into the skill stones, there will be different types that you can use. As you can see, Pyrus is one of these. You have to build a certain amount of these types of skill stones, which are ancient cores. As you go up and you do the stronger ones, you need the chaos cores, which are not only challenging to come by, but also expensive, even if you wanted to purchase them. So that's kind of something that you want to think about when you're developing your packs. You know, that Grim Reaper is not 100% worth it, and even Pyrus has the limits with needing those skill stones. So that is a cool feature, but it's so expensive that you're not going to use it hardly at all, so it's not worth the development of that guy. Now, Tidal Titan, also no army talent. Fountain of Youth, increase max HP of your infantry by 10%. I think that one's pretty okay. Same thing with army defense. It's nice that it's a whole army, but it's defense instead of attack, so it's not something I go strongly after. And the High Tide is just okay, so it relocates an enemy. If you successfully attack an enemy, you can, once you've activated this, you have 1 minute here at minimum and 15 minutes at max, but if you successfully burn another castle, it'll randomly teleport them somewhere on the map. So if you don't like somebody in your hive and you can successfully attack them, it'll bounce their castle out of your area. And that's okay. It's really not worth spending time on. This, however, is, again, no army talent, but infantry max HP, which is okay, you know me. Leader escape 10%, so it increases the likeliness that your leader, once captured, will escape instead of be executed. And then Convocation, this one is my favorite skill. and probably one of the more worthwhile skills and familiars to develop in all of Pact 4. There's one that I like a little bit better than this, but this one ranks like, as a close second. So for me, granting 3,000 random troops at first, 15,000 when you're maxed out of the T4 if you have them, T3 if you don't, or T2, whatever the highest tier that you have available is. So that's super, super nice. Every 3 days, you just get 15,000 troops. But he is a high level familiar, so he takes a long time to develop as far as building up to level 60, and then on top of that, building this skill, Convocation, up to 10. Takes some serious effort and time, and fragments and runes and whatever else, just energy and effort. So, but definitely one of the more worthwhile ones. Now, this guy here stuns all enemy heroes at maximum for 5 seconds when 15% of your troops have fallen. So that's the heroes of the army, and if you watch the battles between, like, when you attack a dark nest or attack another castle and your heroes are jumping in the battle, every time they strike something, you can see that they're causing pretty serious damage. So to stun all the enemy heroes for 5 seconds, it takes a little while for that to activate, and if it's a close battle, that could make or break the difference between you guys winning, stopping those heroes from causing damage for 5 seconds of the whole battle. Maybe you can get down enough in the morale dropping to be more successful with this guy's help. So the army talent's pretty nice. I'll call it really nice. I also like the barracks capacity increase of 5,000. That's always a bonus. I look for anything that increases speed of training or number of troops that I can train at one time. It's very nice. And then infantry defense, just okay. You know how I feel about defense and health. I aim for attack, and that anything else is just kind of secondary. So reduces an enemy's resources production 95% for 6 hours at max. And so they're just barely producing anything. It's just something to say, get away from me, stop being annoying if somebody's maybe bugging your hive or, what have you. So army talent here, you've got 7% of your cavalry troops get a shield from a killing blow when 12% of your cavalry troops have fallen. This isn't, those numbers are just meh, okay to me. And then on top of that, it's what it is it's a nice additive to another plan. So if you have maybe a Goblin, I think it is, from Pact 3, and there's one other in the Pact 3 that complement cavalry, and one in Pact 1 that complements cavalry, and then you have this as your fourth one or whatever, and everybody's targeting cavalry. It might be a nice add-on, but it's not really all that amazing. So Monster Hunt travel speed, that's kind of cool. If you're big on hunting, this guy is a nice add-on to being able to be more successful or more quick about going back and forth killing the monster. And then cavalry defense, again, kind of same category as just okay, as any health or defense add on. And then adds 7 hunts in a row, adds 15. Let's talk about the max. Once a day, you can add 15 hunts in a row to something that you're doing, so it just pops up to 15 and does that much extra damage during your hunt. And it only goes off once you do it. Cannot hunt exceed. Yeah, I thought it said something about once, activates once, but maybe it's 15. But in any case, the point is that it's going to add 15 hunts to your current hunt, and that way you're starting with a lot more damage than you normally would. So if you're trying to hunt something, this might be especially useful if you're summoning something from Guild Bash. So if you're doing Guild Bash or something and you're summoning one of those monsters, boom, you can add on an automatic 15 hit in a row and work your way toward that maximum damage that you can cause before somebody can sneak in and grab it from you. And then Snow Beast is Kind of the same deal. So 7% of your ranged troops get saved from a killing blow when 12% of your ranged troops have fallen, and that is again a nice additive to if you've got some other ranged familiars going and you're going the ranged route and trying to get those guys a maximum. The coalition army travel speed, so that's kind of nice when you're leading like a dark nest or a rally against another player. That one's going to be pretty nice to be able to go a little bit quicker, so I'll call it a good one. Range defense falls into the same category for me as always. And then for 60 minutes, you get a 300% supply capacity. This is like a must-have for a bank. If you've ever sat there and transferred funds, it takes some time. Or not funds, but if you've transferred resources, it takes some serious time. And Hoarder is going to be the same thing. Save 7% of your infantry from a killing blow when 12% of your troops have fallen. Super nice to add on to another infantry plan, but not amazing as a standalone. So max deposit, this one is amazing. This is my favorite Pact 4 hero, and Pact 4 familiar rather. And the max deposit goes up 10,000 for your treasure trove. So you can, if you're over 100%, there's research that can boost you up. You can get up to like 115, 120% return on all of your investments on those 30 days. So you can go 10,000 and earn another 10,000 on top of whatever your current treasure trove level is at and allowing you to do. So that's really kind of an awesome little feature. On top of that, merging skill stones goes a little bit quicker with this guy. Still a little bit expensive. I'm not totally into the whole skill stone thing, but the jewels I am. Jewels are almost just as important as the equipment itself that they're going into, if not more important. They can add so much to the equipment. But when you're maxing out a certain troop type and you're doing that kind of gear, you want to put in the right jewels, and so this will grant you 3 random jewels as if you're opening up 3 random chests, and it'll give you a cavalry defense jewel, infantry offense jewel, a range this, that, or the other, and so it gives you these jewels that you can build up, and you can go into your workshop, and once you're in your workshop, you can go into your cabinet, jewel fusion, and sit here and go through all these. And anything that has the number 4 on it, like this guy, you can put that one up to 2. And you can keep on increasing these. And once they reach purple or gold, then you can add them to your equipment. I mean, that's what I would suggest anyway, purple or gold. So I have this infantry attack. I have 3 of these that I could have an extra 6% on 3 different pieces of equipment for a total of 18% add-on attack. Or I could just add on this 12% and keep on working toward this level, or 20% and keep on working this level. Now, split up, they're worth a little bit more, but I want to kind of have them all eventually be that level. So rather than add them now and have to pay gems to break them off later, to remove them from the equipment without breaking them and make them bigger, I saved myself that headache, and I just don't put them on there until they're bigger. So in any case, that is the best familiar in my opinion. Just quickly, I will suggest that you get, if you get to Pact 4, which is very challenging, and Pact 3 is kind of where it's at for me, so that's what I really recommend. But if you make it to Pact 4, spend your time developing this guy and getting that level 10 payday, very worthwhile. And Pact 4 isn't as challenging as Pact 5. The other guy that's worth it is this Drider, who is a Pact 5, and his stuff is even more challenging than Hoarder's was to develop the skills and the level, and every piece of him was more challenging than it was to gather Hoarder. So go after Hoarder first, and then see where you're at with him. Go after him. Pretty worthwhile. All right, but that's it. I'll catch you guys on the next one. See ya.